Welcome to Cinema Talk. I'm your host, Oliver, and today we're talking Project Hail Mary. But before I do, a quick channel update to my loyal subscribers. You know who you are. As you can see, there's been a location change. And it's been about a year and a half since I uploaded my last video, and you're thinking, hey, that's a long time. But a lot has happened in that time. I've successfully transitioned and moved across the pond. I now live in Spain, in Malaga to be precise, and I have my own office inside of a co-working facility called Polo Digital. And originally, I wanted to make these videos inside of my office because there's good lighting in there. I have some decor, a little bit of me in there, so it had some personality. But I had a big problem. My neighbors are next to me. They're very close. I can hear them and they can definitely hear me. And if you know me, you know I like to speak loud and I'm a loud person. So I needed my own little space for me to be me. So luckily, they have this recording booth in here. So I was able to rent it and use it to record these videos. But as you can see, another problem. It's small, literally touching the ceiling here. It's gray. It's boring. There's no character. It lacks personality. But this is what I got. So this is going to be the home for Cinema Talk moving forward. As I continue to produce content and videos for you guys, I will try to see if I can add some personality to it. So that's why I kind of wore my red photography vest here to give me a bit of color, because I have a black shirt underneath and it's just kind of, bro, it looks like I'm in a prison cell. So enough chit chat. Let's get on with the review. Project Hail Mary is directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. It's based on the book of the same name by Andy Weir, who also wrote another solo astronaut novel called The Martian. That novel was made into a film back in 2015. It starred Matt Damon and it was directed by Ridley Scott. Project Hail Mary follows Ryland Grace, played by Ryan Gosling, a scientist who wakes up alone in a spaceship many light years away from Earth, without any recollection of who he is and why he's on the ship. We soon find out that our sun is dimming, and the reason for this is an alien microbe dubbed astrophage. They're basically like interstellar mode. So Grace is sent on a mission to a star called Tau Ceti to find out why the astrophage has no effect on it. Soon after waking up, Grace meets an intelligent rock species from the planet Erid, which he names Rocky. He eventually shows him the Rocky movie at one point in the movie. It's super cute. Rocky is also on the same mission as Grace, and they work together to solve this universal problem. Now that we got the basic synopsis out of the way, let's talk about what I liked about the movie. The cinematography. Cinematographer Greg Fraser shot the hell out of this movie. And he's been so good lately that he has a track record that's good, if not as good, as Roger Deakins. Yes, I said it. If you don't agree, fight me in the comments. But I said it anyways. Now, my man in the last decade has shot Dune Part 1, Dune Part 2, The Batman, The Creator, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, back when the House of Mouse was trying to make good content. Actually, scratch that. Back when the House of Mouse actually made a great Star Wars movie before they went to try to make good Star Wars content. And we all know where that went. You see that? That's the Millennium Falcon crashing. Because they don't know what to do with the series. But that's a topic for other video. Now, a fun fact for you guys. Fraser did not return to shoot Dune Part 3. That job went to another cinematographer. His name is Linus Sandgren. And he shot another movie that stars Ryan Gosling in space called The First Man. That one's directed by Damien Chazelle. I don't really know where I was going with that. It's just a fun fact. 2 Ryan Gosling movies shot in space, 2 different cinematographers. I guess let me know who shot my man better in space, because he's beautiful regardless. Now, if you've seen the film, there's a beautiful rainbow highlight that pops up every time he's like staring out the window. So that rainbow effect, Greg Fraser, how did he achieve this? Let me explain to you. He does what we all do when we want to find something. He went on Amazon and he bought a little rinky-dinky lens filter for like $70. This is a $200 million movie. My man goes on Amazon to buy a lens filter to give him this beautiful effect. That's to show you. You don't need $200 million to make something look pretty. Granted, there's a whole other production aspect about the film that makes it look beautiful, but it's to show you a lot can go a long way with so little. Just saying. Another thing I liked about the film was the production design. Most of the spaceship was a practical set, and so was Rocky. You would think he was CGI, but he wasn't. James Ortiz was responsible for puppeteering Rocky, and he does a phenomenal job bringing him to life. You feel like he's real and he's really there, and that's because he is. I'm not saying all the scenes with Rocky were shot practically. There's obviously the use of CGI, but Rocky was real and helped Ryan Gosling have something to interact with on set, especially with some of the more emotional scenes. Man, there was at least 3 times during this movie where my eyes just like water, baby. Just like Niagara Falls. Well, I'm kind of exaggerating, but you kind of get that, your eyes get wet. It's amazing how an object with no face can cause you to have so many emotions with just his words and his actions. Now, Ryan Gosling is amazing in this movie, but Rocky, for me, he steals the show. He's so good, and you buy the friendship that they have together. Like you are sold on the fact that Ryan and Rocky, they're just like the best friends right now. They don't know anybody else except for the two of them. And it's a beautiful thing to witness. Maybe there is still some good out there. Hopefully we don't have to go like a million miles to find good. The directors do something in this film that normally I'm not a big fan of. When you have a one-man show film, like Moon, for example, that stars Sam Rockwell, the pacing is slow. The whole film kind of feels slow. It can be boring sometimes. Great performance by him, though. But it's a slow burner. It helps when you have a charismatic lead like Sam Rockwell or Matt Damon or even Ryan Gosling to help keep the audience invested. But the directors in this film, he chooses to go between 2 different timelines. So instead of us just being stuck in space all the time. So we have a timeline where we're in the present, which is what's happening right now in space with Rocky and Ryan Gosling. And then we also have what's happening on Earth in the past. And this is what I was saying earlier that I'm not always a fan of. It's the cut between the 2 different timelines. Because oftentimes for me, at least I'm saying from my perspective, from my opinion, it doesn't always work. Sometimes what's happening in the present is far more entertaining or more interesting than what's happening in the past, or maybe vice versa. It's kind of like having a filler episode in the middle of a great series. It's like, bro, I just want to get back to the good stuff. Why do we have 2 episodes of filler? Like, it's dragging for no reason. I don't need it. I don't want it. But that's not the case for this film. It's equally as entertaining in both timelines. What's happening in the present in space and what's happening on Earth. And it also helps in the film's favor having a bunch of side characters. So Ryan Gosling is not literally alone. He's not like Sam Rockwell in Moon. He's not alone. He has side characters. On Earth, he has the scientist, and he has the phenomenal Carl, which is played by Lionel Boyce. Those 2 guys have some of the funniest moments in the movie. And obviously in space, he has Rocky. So there you have it. He's got, it's not a one-man show. Maybe Moon was a bad example, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not a big fan of the big whole timeline jumping between 2 points and stuff. It's like, it can ruin it for me sometimes. Now, there's something in the film I noticed, and I might be overthinking this a little bit, or maybe I missed something, and it's probably spoilers ahead. So if you haven't seen the movie, maybe you don't want to hear this part, because I'm definitely going to spoil something. So yeah, you've been warned. So Grace in the film thinks very little of himself. Like, he doesn't see himself as somebody who is courageous or somebody that's a hero. He actually is very cowardice. Like, he can feel like a coward sometimes. Like, he doesn't want to take on any extra responsibility, especially anything that has to do with him going to space. Now, further into the film, in the 3rd act, you find out that one of the astronauts can't go on the mission. And he's being recruited to go on the mission now. Now he has to go on the ship, which originally he did not want to be a part of. He doesn't want to go on the ship. He doesn't feel like he can do it. He has 3 hours to decide whether he wants to go on the ship or not, which is bullshit, because the lady was going to send him regardless. She was just giving him time for him to, maybe he'll have the courage to say that he will go on this journey, to go on this mission to save humanity. But he does not. He comes back to her and rejects the offer. He does not want to go. He doesn't think he's capable of going and completing this mission. He doesn't feel like he has the courage to do it. But he's shoved on the ship anyways. Now remember, he wakes up alone, and he wakes up not knowing anything. He doesn't remember who he is and why he's on the ship. So I wonder, does he also forget like how he was on Earth, the type of person he was, the like how little courage that he had? Because he is the complete opposite on the ship. He shows tremendous courage and a lot and assumes all the responsibility because obviously he's by himself. So he knows he has to figure this out. But none of the stuff that happened on Earth about his character is present on the ship. He shows tremendous heroism on the ship. Maybe I said that word wrong. Heroism on the ship. Even so much so that Rocky asks him for a word to describe what he's seeing from Grace because Rocky doesn't have the vocabulary for it. So Grace takes out his computer and writes a single word. He writes the word brave. Grace is brave. And that part right there hits you in the feels, man. And it's a beautiful moment in the film. And I'm not going to say any more about this because I don't want to spoil anything else. I don't want to talk about the ending. So I'll leave it for you guys to experience like the way I did. I can't wait for this film to come out on streaming so I could watch it again. So if you haven't watched it, please do yourself the pleasure and go watch this on the big screen and watch it on IMAX if you can. It's probably super beautiful on that screen. Don't be one of those people that says, I'm going to wait for it to come out on streaming. Don't do that shit. There's crappy movies that come out on streaming all the time that you can waste your time at home watching. This, please, go watch it in the big screen. Support your local theaters, and let's keep cinema alive. Thank you for watching this episode of Cinema Talk, and I'll see you in the next one.